जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधमाधवा जय कुञ्जरी बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बालदेवा सुभद्रमयी जय सुदर्शन जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गंधर्विक गिरिधारी गौर हरि जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव जय लक्ष्मी वरदे जय लक्ष्मी वरदे लक्ष्मी वरदे जय लक्ष्मी वरदे जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदमाय तदा तेषां पदाख्यं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीयुता गुरु वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं सागरदातं सहगणनं सन्तजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं वञ्जनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सहगणललिता श्री विशाखां च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्ते सप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पञ्चकल्पतरुपुष्टा कृपासुदेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं मुदे नक्तप्राय सुभद्रेषु नित्य भागवते भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिभोक्त्रे कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः हरे कृष्ण वेलकम all the devotees for the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Pleasure, and it's a very important sloka we'll be reciting. We'll be talking about the first canto, 18th chapter, Parishit cursed by the Brahmana boy, and sloka number 17 and 18. So we'll be discussing 17 is a small sloka, so we are clubbing with 18th also. So you can follow the recit as they pronounce it. Tanno param punyam asamvrittam punyam asamvrittam akshayanam atmabandhu yoga nityam akshaya atyayam anat aschirito paparam atyaya ananta acharito papanam parikshitam bhagavatam abhiramam tanna param punyam asamvrittam akaya atyabandhu yoga nistam Akeya Ananta Acharito Papanam Pariksham Bhagavatam Abhiramam Tanno Param Punyam Asamvrittam Akyayam Atyam Bandhu Yoga Nityam Akeya Ananta Acharito Papanam Parikshita Bhagavata Abhiramam. Word by word meaning. Tat, therefore, na, unto us, Param, supreme, Punyam, purifying, Asamvrita Astam, as it is, Akyana, narration, Ati, very, Abhutta, wonderful, Yoga Nitya, compact in Bhakti Yoga, Akyati, describe, Ananta, the unlimited, Acharita, activities, upon Papanam, full of, Parikshita, spoken to Maharaj Parikshit, Bhagavata, of the pure devotee, Abhirama, particularly very dear. Translation and purpose by His Grace is Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhupada. Translation. Thus, please narrate to us the narrations of the unlimited, for they are purifying and supreme. They were spoken to Maharaj Parikshit and they were very dear to the pure devotees. Being full of Bhakti Yoga. Purpose. What was spoken to Maharaj Parikshit and what is very dear to pure devotee of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is mainly full of narration of activities of the Supreme Unlimited, and therefore it is the science of Bhakti Yoga, or the devotional service of the Lord. Thus it is the Para, or Supreme, because although it is enriched with all knowledge and religion, it is specifically enriched with the devotional service of the Lord. So in this purpose, we will be learning that the Bhagavatam is a pure. Okay, it's a science of Bhakti. So when we talk about Krishna, it is a science of Bhakti. So it is more important for us to understand that even reciting the Bhagavatam itself is purifying oneself. So the sages of, actually the background is the sages of Naimisharanya requesting that Sutta Goswami speak about those topics discussed between the Parikshit Maharaj and the Sukadeva Goswami. The Naimisharya sages are exalted Brahmana, highly qualified Brahmana. So they are asking Sutta Goswami to speak more about the discussion happened between the Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. The special characteristics of this Srimad Bhagavatam is it contains a topic of renunciation, the topic what is the real religion and what is most important devotional service of the Supreme Lord. It is enriched with a Bhakti Yoga. So the Bhagavatam is the highest one, so because it talks about Krishna. So we will move forward to the next sloka, sloka number 18. Sutta Vacha Aho Vayam Janam Vrato Daya Hasam Vritano Vrityapi Viloma Jata Danusha Kalyam Adi Vidyuneti Sigram Mahatmanam Abhidana Yogya Sutta Vacha Aho Vayam Janma Bro Dayahasma Vritano Vrityapai Viloma Jata Danukalyam Adim Viduneto Sigram Mahatmanam Abhidano Yoga Sutta Vacha Aho Vayam Janma Bro Dayahasma Vrityapi Viloma Jata Dhanush Kalyanam Adim Vidut Sigram Mahatmanam Abhinana Yoga. Word by word meaning. Suta Vacha, Suta Goswami said, Aho, how, Vayam, we, Janma, birth, promoted in birth, Adya, today, clearly, Asma, have become Vrita Anuvartya, by serving those who are advanced in knowledge, Api, although Viloma Jata, born in the mixed caste, Dhanu Kalya, disqualification of birth, Adim, suffering, Vidunito, purified, Sigraham, very soon, Mahat Tamam, of those who are great, Abhidhanu, conversation, yoga, connection, translation and purport by His Grace, Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada, translation. Sri Sutta Goswami said, O God, although we are born in a mixed caste, we are still promoted in the birthright simply by serving and following the great who are advanced in knowledge. Even by conserving with a great soul, one can without a delay cleanse oneself of all the disqualifications resulting from the low birth. But Sutta Goswami did not take his birth in a Brahminical family. He was born in a family of a mixed caste, an uncleared low family. But because of the high association like Sukadeva Goswami and the great Rishi Naimisharnya, certainly the disqualification of inferior birth was washed off. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followed this principle of pursuance of the Vedic usage, and by his transcendental association he elevated many low-born or those disqualified by birth or action to the status of devotional service and established them in the position of Acharya or authority. He clearly states that any man, whatever he may be, whether a Brahmana or a Sudra by birth or householder or mendicant in the order of the society, if he is conversant with the signs of Krishna, he can be accepted as an Acharya or a Guru or a spiritual master. Sutta Goswami learned the signs of Krishna from the great Rishi and authorities like Sukadeva Goswami Vyasdeva, and he was so qualified that even the sages of Naimisharnya eagerly wanted to hear from him the signs of Krishna in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he had the double association of the great soul by hearing and preaching. The translation signs of the signs or the signs of Krishna has to be learned from the authorities, and when one is preached the signs, he becomes still more qualified. So Sutta Goswami had both the advantages, and undoubtedly he was completely free from all disqualification of low birth and mental agnanias. This verse definitely proves that the Sutta Goswami did not refuse to teach Sutta Goswami about the transcendental science, nor did the sages of Naimisharnya refuse to hear lesson from him because of his inferior birth. This means that thousands of years ago there was no bar to learning or preaching the transcendental science because of the inferior birth. The rigidity of the so-called caste system in Hindu society became prominent within only 100 years or so, when the number of Divya Bandhus or disqualified men in the families of higher caste increased. Lord Chaitanya received the original Vedic system, and he elevated Thakura Haridasara to the position of a Namacharya, or authorities of preaching the glories of the holy name of the Lord. Although His Holiness Srila Haridas Thakura was pleased to appear in the family of the Mohammedans. Such is the power of the pure devotee of the Lord. The Ganges water is accepted as a pure, and one can become purified after taking bath in the water of Ganges. But as far as the great devotee of the Lord are concerned, they can purify the degraded soul even by being seen by the low-born, and what to speak of association. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to purify the whole atmosphere of the polluted world by sending the qualified preachers all over the world, and it remains with the Indians to take up this task scientifically and thus to do the best kind of humanitarian work. The mental disease of the present generation are more acute than bodily disease. It is quite fit and proper to take up the preaching of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world without delay. Mohammedan Mahatma Mahatmanam Abhidhana also means the dictionary of the great devotees or the book full of words of the great devotees. Such a dictionary of the words of the great devotee and those of the Lord are in the Vedas and allied literature, specifically the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Welcome once again the Nityam Bhagavata Seva devotees, and we'll be discussing on the chapter 18. It's more important and very prominent sloka for us. Here we are talking about the Sutta Goswami is a very secret revealing that by just born in a mixed family or a low class family, disqualifications are taken. But he said that is not the truth. You will be the higher association is important. Higher association means the disqualification of inferior birth was washed away. So the association of the higher people, the sages and acharyas is important so that one elevates from the low birth to higher birth. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also strictly followed these principles of Srimad Bhagavatam, just like the Sutta Goswami become qualified. He becomes cleansed by the disqualifications and simply by association with the pure devotee. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also himself gave the associations and he elevated those who are disqualified. Like Haridas Thakur, for example, he is a low-born, he is Mohammedan, but with his association, he has been Acharya of the Nama Acharya, he has been elevated. So that is a science of one who preaches the science of Krishna, he gets automatically that purification. When they become platform of the pure devotional service, they become acharyas, authorities who can teach others by example. So acharya or authorities means they teach us by example. The way of living is how they are living, that is the way they teach us. They are perfectly in knowledge and realization. They know perfectly about the Krishna and the knowledge and the realization. So those people are called acharyas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, irrespective of position, either Varna or Ashrama. Varna means there are 4 Varnas. Brahmana, okay, up to Sudra it goes. Similarly, Ashrama means from the Grihastha to Mendicant, means sannyasa. So these are the 4 divisions are there. So in spite of that, it doesn't matter that whichever the division, whatever it is, if we conversant with the science of Krishna, so that is very important. The qualification is important for the purification. So Krishna Tattva Veda, it says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the truth he knows that what is Krishna, then he can be accepted as a guru or acharya. So a person who knows Krishna, then you can accept him as acharyas. So here the Sutta Goswami by birth is a low born. Okay, he learned the science of Krishna from the Sukadeva Goswami and Vyasadeva. He learned from them, and also this way he become qualified. And he was an association of the Brahmanas who was in the Naimisharya, who were highly qualified Brahmanas are there. With that association, and who are very eager to hear the Bhagavatam from the Sutta Goswami. So they are not rejected him. Because Sutta Goswami realized the science of, because what the basic qualification is, he is realized the soul. He is realized about the Krishna. So okay, the science of Krishna is realized. That's why they accepted him. It is not that he is low born. Okay. That's why he is exalted portion of an acharya knowledge about Krishna. He is having full of knowledge. Here we are saying that the learned them when they make qualities and answers. So what he does is he learns from the Sukadeva Goswami and preaching by to the Naimisharya stages. There he is doing a double. He's getting a double association of them. Authorities are who are follow the principles through the taught by the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Learn that not enough. One has to preach the science of Krishna consciousness. Then one becomes fully qualified. When learning, one acquires, when you are learning, when you reading or learning, then you get some qualification. But when you start preaching, you get the higher qualification. Means you are fully completed. So that's why all the ISKCON and other Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preach. So you have to go out and preach. When you preach only, you will get complete Purnatva. You are getting fully qualified. The disqualification of all low birth is been cleansed, washed away. Whatever you may be birth. Okay, in Kali Yuga everybody is Sudras only. So don't worry about your birth. Only Brahmana can teach. Even Sudra can teach, provided he learns that how to learns the science of Krishna. The sages are concerned who Suta Goswami here about Krishna, knows about Krishna. Therefore, let us hear from him. So they are aware of that Suta Goswami's his knowledge about Krishna. That's why they are willing to hear from him. It's that only the last 100 years caste system is of Hinduism are all formed. Before that, if you see that there is no qualification required to talk about Krishna. Not the birth. Okay, even the low birth can teach, provided he knows that science of Krishna. That is where the so. But this caste system started just 100 years back, and people are misused there because of the Brahminic higher class people like Brahmanas. They didn't have the qualification about Brahmana qualification. They didn't have the Brahminical qualification. Because of that, the degradation happened. Just wearing a thread, they say that we are born Brahmanas, we are having all the rights to preach, but that doesn't work. They should have the proper qualification. So the disqualification to do low birth, people look down at low caste. So that's how that complexities happens. Higher class people look the other people as the low class people. So Suta Goswami returns proclaimed himself as a self-made man. Generally people say that I know everything, so I don't, one who not dependent on outside conditions, means he can work on himself. Another example says that one who works on own ability, one can progress in life, achieve what he wanted. These are the people, these are the qualification people say as they call it a self-made man. So it is been recognized in Senate, US Senate in February 2nd, 1842. They recognize as a self-made man. The example is Benjamin Franklin, who was recognized as the father of the US, founder of the US. Okay, so he made a lot of set a system in place. So he is called a self-claimed self-made man. But our acharyas are not like that. They are all always depending on the mercy of his gurus. Okay, like depending on the blessing of the sages of Naimisharya, and also he learned from the Sukadeva Goswami and Vyasadeva. So this is the difference. So in modern society, people claim themselves as a self-man-made. Okay, like Ambedkar, he wrote so many laws, Indian laws he wrote it. So they claim it say he's an independent person. But modern angle, if you see, that works out. But our parampara sages, they always depending on the higher authority, these gurus. Through their mercy only they can speak about. So It is because they have to talk about Krishna. So this is how it is. He was able to converse with a great personality. This is the mood of the sutta. So the mood, how is that? They serving attitude. So service attitude towards the Bhagavatam. Okay, they speak about that. This is the mood of the speaker should be there. The sutta also the twofold. Okay, resident of Purna, the person who born in a mixed caste. So in Vedic he says it clearly that there is a called Pratiloma marriage and Anuloma marriage. So in Anuloma marriage is allowed. Okay, in Anuloma marriage means a Brahmana person marries to a Kshatriya girl. Okay, higher caste to the lower caste marriage is accepted. That is called Anuloma. Otherwise, Brahmana to Brahmana, Kshatriya to Kshatriya. In a mixed caste means then there also the Vedas accept some level. Then Pratiloma marriage is the reverse of it, where the Kshatriya marries to a Brahmanic girl. Okay, it is happens in Bhagavatam also, Canto 9, where King Yayati, he marries to daughter of the Sukracharya. Okay, that is a big pastime happens where he was daughter of Sukracharya. David, his name is B something. So he was put in ditch where she was naked, and Yayati was passing by that. When she cried for help, he gave his dress, and because he gave the dress and he married to her, accepted her. Okay, Sukracharya is accepted, and also he also married the king daughter also. That's a big story goes. So there, that's why Parikshit was asking how this marriage is happened. So this is called mixed caste, mixed caste. So Sutta Goswami, Sutta also mixed. His father is a Kshatriya and mother is a Brahmana. So that's why it's a low bar. So they are not agreeing to here. But here, because also he was blessed by Lord Balram itself. So that in another pastime happens when Romaharsana Sutta was reciting in Naimisharanya, where all the high qualified Brahmanas were hearing the pastime. It's 1,000 years yajna was going on. There that Romaharsana Sutta was reciting the Bhagavatam, and all the Naimisharanya Brahmanas were sitting and hearing. So that is the time when earlier also we told the pastime that when Balram was entering that what Romaharsana Sutta thought is Balram is a king. Why I should give respect? Whereas all the sages are got up and giving respect, Romaharsana Sutta didn't get up. Because of that, Balram got angry and he took Sushigriha and chopped his head. So he died on the spot. Because Naimisharanya, all the sages were praying that they want to run the Bhagavatam. They want to hear Bhagavatam, that yajna should not be stopped. So they requested Balram, please help us to fulfill both your thing. One is the Bhagavatam should continue. Other side also, Romaharsana Sutta didn't respect it. He didn't give respect that he also be died. So what Balram is that he give empowered that a person can take rebirth as a son also. So that is, he is the Sutta. So Sutta Goswami is the son of Romaharsana Sutta. Okay, so Balram also empower him to make him as a Acharya and ask him to continue the Bhagavatam. So this is how the Naimisharanya story goes. And Yajna was 1,000 years, Yajna was continuing, and because and also he gave the strength, strong sense of preaching Also, Balram blessed him to continue the Bhagavatam gift. He gave a big long life also. So that's how Sutta was empowered to speak about the Bhagavatam, and he is continuing to think. So these are the reasons how Sutta is empowered. So also how the sages of Naimisharanya, they did neglected Sutta because they were aware of it. Who's Sutta? He is fully knowledgeable about the Krishna, science of Krishna. So here another purport Prabhupada says about that how Krishna made the divisions, okay, and what present system is talking about the division. So Krishna never said there's a caste or class. He divided it Varna Ashrama into divisions. Okay, Brahmana, Kshatriya, okay, Sudra, Vaishya. Like the division he made. But later what happened, people turn into the bodily concept and they divided it into caste. Okay, class is that whole class becomes like in school we have no first class, second class, third standard. So similarly the class turned into caste. Okay, they misguided that. So the higher caste people, they boost themselves as a Brahmana with bread. So they were they talked about the Trivedi, Chaturvedi, and the Pandits. All these things they boost themselves. Okay, but they didn't have the qualification there. Rigid caste systems are started forming, and they are so strict that when a low class person come to their house, the Brahmanas will wash their house with the cow urine. So such a conscious about the bodily conscious of the people. So in the past also the rigid caste systems were there. When Dronacharya, when Ekalavya want to learn, but he is not a Kshatriya. So Dronacharya want to teach Arjuna as a big Acharya. Okay, Dhanurveda. He is the highest Dhanurveda. So when Ekalavya want to superpower him, so he has a Guru Dakshina as a finger. He taken the thumb finger itself. So that's how very strict. Similarly, Parshuram also, when Karna went to learn that this thing, telling that he is a Brahman, but he was a Kshatriya, so he also, Karna has been rejected. What Parasuram Kasri means, when you, whatever you learn these mantras, at the time of need, it will not work for you. So such a curse he gave it. Okay, so this casteism was there in the initial stage also. The falsely pride of the Brahmanas, okay, the 12 qualities of the Brahmana, it can't even elevate himself. Okay, a Brahmana cannot elevate himself. Okay, but when a Chandala or a dog eater, okay, whose mind, who dedicates his mind, word, activity, and wealth, life. If we dedicate for the Krishna conscious, then he can not only he can be elevated, his parampara, he can elevate his parampara itself. See the difference, the qualification. By birth of a Brahmana who not able to elevate himself, where the birth of a Chandala who dog eater was having all qualification, okay, he can elevate not only him, he can elevate his parampara itself. So this is how we have to learn about that. By birth it is not important. Okay, Krishna uses the division not used for the classes or caste. That's what I was saying there. So rigidity gives birth as a false ego, and when spirit is lost. So that's what has happened to the Brahmanas. Okay, they were so rigid about their casteism, so they lost it. The conclusion of this today's sloka is the more important the birth is the association of the pure devotees. Okay, acharyas and gurus, such a thing is that one become elevated. So we get elevated. The cleanliness, cleanse of all contamination by association with the acharyas. our low birth impurities, contamination, that gets cleansed off. And one become qualified to speak about such a transcendental matter who was not conversant with that. So, of Krishna. So, birth is not important, only the association of the pure devotee and learn the science of thing and practice on a daily life. He has to live in an example. Okay, that is those things are qualification is required, and they will be turned into acharya. Then Srimad Bhagavatam, please start. Any question, doubts about this topic? It's very important topic that generally people bifurcate or sectarian that because you are low born, you don't have qualification to talk about Krishna. But that is not that. In the Bhagavatam, it clearly says that people should have knowledge about science of Krishna and heard from the acharyas like Sukadeva Goswami and Vyasadeva, and also association of the Naimisharanya big brahmanas, highly qualified brahmanas. Such people can also turn into acharya, and also they will be cleansed about the low birth. So you know how to
switch off, huh?
Yeah.